Hello everyone, it's Diddy Dude here, and we're back to Ace Attorney, where we're going to continue with the trial, with Adrian Andrews testifying in court, and we're going to try to frame her for murder. Yay! Dude, I can't believe that Adrian. No way. Not cool and collected Adrian Andrews. She is your manager. It would have been very easy for her to pull this off. The only person who had easy access to the knife you used at dinner was, well... So after ceremony, during the break, huh? Look at how nonchalant she's just like, man, I had to do this. I can't believe I had to do this. No way. Whatever. Time to hide a body, I guess. The things I have to do as a manager. I was sleeping like a log. Oh, I thought this was like the dead person's body. No, this is just her looking over her client, and she's like, "Sorry, dude. Gonna have to do this." I was sleeping like a log the entire time. See, she could have also easily planted that blood-covered button in your hakama. Because she was the one that came to wake me up? Then, dude, you're saying it really was her? Yes, she is the real killer. She was the one who murdered Juan Corrida. The only thing we have to think about is there's still a few questions we have left unanswered. Even if she is the murderer, why do the press conference, right? The press conference was one of the first things in this case, and we still don't know the answer to that. But why? I thought she was buzzed with Juan. She has her own agenda. Her own agenda? Well, what are you talking about? I'm sure you'll see by the time this trial is over. It'll be alright. I'll get you acquitted by the end of today. Give me a verdict that's refreshing like a spring breeze. Okay, Mr. Lawyer Dude? Phoenix, you think her motive is related to Celeste Impact's missing suicide note, right? Yes. Miss Andrews depended on Miss Impact as her strength and reason to live. But then, Miss Impact suddenly killed herself. It sounds like she left a suicide note and the person thought to have hidden it is Juan Corrida, the victim of this murder. And that's why I think that Miss Andrews got close to Mr. Corrida, or to get the suicide note back. That sounds plausible. But one thing bothers me. What? Who was it that first told us about their relationship? I thought it was who was the one who first told, them about our relationship? I'm like, no! Who was the one who first told us about their relationship? Better stated, Miss Andrews' dependency issues with regards to Miss Impact's? It was Edward. It looks like he's still the one in command of this ship. Don't let your guard down yet. Oh boy. Court will now reconvene. Now then, Mr. Edward, if you please. The prosecution calls the witness subpoenaed by this court. Miss Adrian Andrews, the person who discovered the crime in Mr. Juan Corrida's room. What is your occupation? I'm the manager of the... Oh, I was gonna do... My occupation is murderer, sir! I still remember that. I'm the manager of the defendant in this case, Mr. Matt on guard. I see. Now then, before we begin, Your Honor, I have one request. Yes, sure. What is it? I'm sure everyone in this room is wondering the same thing, and would love to find out more about my relationship with the victim. After all, it was the topic of a certain weekly magazine recently. Oh no, I have no idea what you mean. I've never even heard of Gossip Land. If the judge was ever a prosecution witness, he'd do all my work for me. Anyway, I was wondering if you could please tell us about your relation with the victim. Yes, I was seeing Mr. Corrida. I was also aware of the rivalry that existed between Matt and Juan. But this was a private matter between Juan and myself. So it was a fry and bait matter, or was that bait and fry? Reminds me of fishing. But I didn't kill him. No one is accusing you of that. Besides Phoenix, I think there's someone who would beg to differ. I think we all understand your relationship with the victim now, Miss Andrews. Very well then. Witness, please testify to the court about what happened when you discovered a murder that had taken place. When I found the body, it was time for the show to start, so I went to get Matt from his room. After that, I went to Juan's room, and there was this dead body. I was in shock. I was like, ah! And I put the wine glass down very calmly. What I saw was naturally the exact same scene as in the crime scene photo. I felt as though I was about to faint, so I poured myself a glass of juice. You poured yourself a glass of juice? Yes, sadly, I didn't remember not to touch things at the scene of the crime, and I disturbed the crime scene by moving this one thing. And that is when the fingerprints on the wine glass were made, Your Honor. I see. I thought they were making out, and then she just... Okay, whatever. Well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine a witness. Phoenix, she's one cool and collected customer, and she has the brains to match. Yes, I know. In order to catch a person like her, you have to avoid head-on confrontations. You should disrupt her pacing. Disrupt her pacing? She's the type of woman who is easily thrown off by things inconsistent with her thinking, so you have to attack when she least expects it. The instant you let up on your offense is the instant this trial is over. Understand? It was the time for the show to start, so I went to get Matt from his room. Hold it! And what was Mr. Engarde doing at the time? He was taking a nap. Just like, you stupid buffoon. He was worn out from his mini performance as the Nicholas Samurai during the ceremony. Mr. Engarde did say he was taking a nap. Then I guess you could say it could not have been taken out of his room, yes? Excuse me? What are you? Right. I thought years of school would have taught you how to construct a sentence. If you can't make a sensible sentence with a subject, then I'll make one for you. Watch. Did you, Miss Andrews, remove Mr. Engarde's knife from his room? No. Very believable. Subject, verb, object, right? Did you skip basic grammar? The witness may continue. I like how Phoenix has nothing to say. He doesn't even give a facial reaction. He's just like, fuck you. And why did you do that? As a friendly gesture, Juan was to make an appearance with other heroes. So the show was supposed to be a show of friendship, huh? Is that the only reason? I beg your pardon? What are you implying? You had a certain goal in mind when you started to get close to him, correct? So perhaps you had a more personal matter to discuss with the victim? Sorry, but I didn't have any such intentions in mind at that time. I can't get her to talk without a strong piece of evidence, I guess. May we continue now? Witness, what did you see when you got to his room? And there was his dead body. I was in shock. Hold it! You were in shock? What? Was it not supposed to be? Miss Andrews is a very calculating person. And despite how close they were, I doubt she had romantic feelings for Mr. Corrida. Anyone randomly stumbling upon a dead body would be in shock. And you can't seriously expect that a young beauty like her would not be in shock. Because she's a woman, she's young, of course she's gonna be in shock. Wow, I didn't mean like this. No, sorry, stop slapping me. I missed Markarma's whip. Wow, okay. Somehow, I don't think beauty has anything to do with being shocked or not. I see you. Hold it! This is the photo you're referring to, correct? Yes, the one with the knife lodged in his chest. And the guitar case was like this too? Yes, it was open and empty, of course. And then, what did you do next, witness? Hold it! Juice? Yes, there was a bottle of tomato juice on the table, so I helped myself. But you didn't drink any of it, did you? Huh? There was no lip marks left on this wine glass to suggest that anyone drank from it. I wasn't feeling terribly great, so I set the glass down without drinking it. Miss Andrews, I would like to confirm with you one more time. When you discovered the dead body of Juan Corrida, you were in great shock, and that's when you poured yourself the glass of juice, correct? And what of it? My mind really was a complete blank at the time. Your mind was a complete blank? I didn't think that was possible for you. Aren't you rude today? I was so dazed that I made one careless mistake. That one thing! What one thing? Never mind. It's no big deal. What was she starting to just say just now? Miss Andrews, I'm convinced that, as you said, you made a mistake at the scene of the crime. What I really want to know is what this mistake was. Actually, so would I. I'm sorry. It's kind of embarrassing. I kissed him on the lips and now my lipstick marks on it. Ugh! When I set the glass down in the dresser, I accidentally knocked the flower vase over. Flower vase? Are you talking about the one on the floor in the crime photo? Dismiss the glass shards? It was originally on top of the dresser, but when I bumped into it with my elbow, it fell onto the guitar case. Why did he withhold such an important piece of evidence? Ooh, onto the guitar case. The guitar case was empty. There was no glass shards on it. If you look at the photo. I'm sorry. I said that since the crime scene was already in disarray. Let me look at the court record. Because she said it fell on the guitar case. Wrong photo. If you look at the scene of the murder, I don't see any glass shards on the guitar case, so that's why I don't believe this. I think that's a contradiction. I'm sorry. I thought since the crime scene was already in disarray, that people would simply assume the vase was just another part of the mess. It looks like yet another fact has come to light here. Please add this and anything else you have to reveal in your testimony. I'm sorry, but I don't need more to add. I didn't touch anything else. Yeah, I fell onto the guitar case. Yeah, we already pressed this, right? Hold it! Let me just press this and then we can get evidence. What kind of flower vase was it? It was a glass vase, and it was fairly big and heavy. I thought I would try to take Juan's pulse. Next to the glass, I was holding it on the dresser, and that's when my elbow accidentally hit the vase. That's odd. I thought she was always in total control of herself. That's what she would like people to think. Always be mindful of the gap between your perception and reality. It doesn't sound like there's any glaring contradiction in her testimony just now. I warned you earlier that she would not crack so easily. The only way to make her is to keep on the defensive, not let up. The only way you're going to catch her with some very strong, decisive evidence. I have to find something. I just have to, for Maya's sake. Okay, so I'm happy because Mia is not able to find a contradiction. Normally she's finding a contradiction before I do, but I already found a contradiction, so I'm so happy. I know you guys have no idea what I'm saying. That's why you guys have auto captions on, so that way you guys can understand what I'm saying. And the auto captions is probably wrong still. But anyways, the point is, I'm gonna say this slowly. Mia didn't point out any contradictions she saw. Okay, this is still fast. Mia didn't point out any contradictions what? Mia didn't point out any contradictions Mia didn't point out any contradictions she saw. So that means I found it before she did. Yay! Hold it! Objection. You testified that you knocked the flower vase over. Is this correct? Yes. And are you sure it fell onto the guitar case? Is there some problem with what I said? It's not some problem. It's just, I don't know why, okay, there's no face cam. I don't know why I took off my glasses trying to do this in a, badass way. Like, I just flip it off and be like, just take off the sunglasses and be like, it's not some problem. It's a major problem. I need to, I can't even describe what I'm doing right now without face cam. It's true that the top of the guitar case was wet with water. However, that's exactly what is so strange. Miss Andrews, you testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case. However, if that was true, the case should have gone wet on the inside, not the outside. That's very true. Furthermore, there's one other strange thing about this guitar case. Well, what is that? Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. The remains of the vase are scattered on the floor. And what is wrong with that? If the guitar case was open when the vase fell, the glass shard should be inside, not outside the case. Ah. What is your point, right? That the case was closed at the time the vase was knocked over? Is that all? No, think back to what Miss Andrews testified to. She said that other than the vase, she didn't touch anything else. Yes, that's right. She didn't implicitly say she didn't touch the guitar case. But this whole matter with the guitar case is a dead end. The bright red guitar was found in the studio. It has no bearing on this case at all. That may very well be. However, the empty guitar case does seem to have no relation to this case, doesn't it? Oh, yeah, that is true. Why would she, because what I'm trying to go with is like, oh, she was in the murder scene before. The vase fell over and then she opened a guitar case. The vase fell over when the guitar was closed and then she opened a guitar case, but why would she do that? Unless she was planning on stealing the guitar. Ah. Maybe? Oh, maybe she was trying to check the guitar for something. Like how there might be like... No, that would be stupid. I was gonna say, oh, the suicide note's inside the guitar. Why would want to keep the suicide note inside the guitar? No. But she might be trying to check the guitar case for something. It seems there is no deeper meaning to the guitar case. Well, Mr. Wright, Do you think we need to hear more details about the guitar case? Yeah. The empty guitar case. I believe this is a crucial piece of the puzzle. Heh, I can't believe anyone would reach for straws like this. But it is you. I can't believe I'm doing this either. Alright, I'll follow along. For now, Miss Andrews, please testify to the court about the guitar case. Yes, Your Honor. The guitar case. Alright. I don't remember too clearly because I was a bit dazed. I suppose I must have opened a guitar case after I knocked the vase over. It's not a big deal though, right? The case was empty after all. And as for why I opened the case, even I don't know. Ha! On a presented suicide note. It looks like this really wasn't a very important point. This wastefulness is such a familiar feeling by now that it's almost comforting. Anyway, I'll just go ahead and start a cross-examination. Using anyway to change the topic. A convenient escape for a weak man. I like who's giving me those eyes. I'm not saying the fuck me eyes, I'm saying the eyes were just like staring like creepily, like trying to intimidate me. Okay, whatever. Hold it! During your testimony just now, did you remember those events clearly in your mind? Oh yeah guys, this is gonna be the last case where we get to hear this soundtrack. It's kinda crazy. I was playing Justice for All like within like a couple, like Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, I spent like several months on that. This one, I started playing Justice for All in October I think, and it's like December, so I'm about to wrap this up in 3 months. I'm about to wrap this game up in 3 months, which is crazy. That's like twice as fast as the time duration I was playing Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, the first game. So that's like kind of crazy to me. Like, wow, I'm really reaching the end of this game, and we're moving to Trials and Tribulations. That's actually crazy. I'm moving to Trials and Tribulations really soon. Wow. But anyways, this is the last time we'll be hearing the soundtrack, guys, of this game. So yeah, enjoy it. We're gonna have a new witness testimony music, cross-examination music afterwards. So enjoy this while you can, okay? Probably new Turnabout Sisters, I don't know. New investigations music, I don't know. So enjoy this while you can. During your testimony just now, do you remember those events clearly in your mind? Well, you see... And she's gonna be going with a Darman monologue. Are you sure you're the one who opened a guitar case? She's waiting for someone to tell her if she should answer or not. Sounds like your dependent side is taking over. Well, Miss Andrews? Yes, it was me. Hold it! So, you opened a guitar case then? Yes, well, maybe. Why did you open a guitar case? Huh? Mr. Corda's dead body was right in there in front of you, wasn't it? I would think that the first thing you would do is call for help, not open a guitar case. As the witness has said multiple times, when she found a dead body, she was dazed. Maybe I was curious to know if the bright red guitar was alright or not. I thought maybe the criminal took it. Why would she care about the bright red guitar? But getting back on topic... It's no big deal, the case was empty. Was it really empty? I was just wondering if maybe when you opened the case, the guitar was still inside. How long have you been a lawyer, Mr. Wright? Have a little professionalism. The brighter guitar was found at the studio. These trails will be over in half the time if you just pay attention. Yes, pay more attention, Mr. Wright. Sorry. But I don't even have Angel Store's lunches to comfort me anymore. I'm sorry. Was it because you were shocked and dazed at discovering the victim's body? Yes, that's probably it. I'm not going to get anywhere if I continue pressing her, like this. The only way to make her talk is with evidence. I guess I should give it a try. Come on, Phoenix, we can't afford to let up on her now. I wasn't planning on letting up, but she's at her weakest now, so this is our chance. Yeah, if we had a weapon to hit her with... I'm sure a weapon is hiding somewhere in the court record, waiting to be found. Let me think. So... Even I don't know. I think you're wrong about that. I think you... Well, you're not wrong. I think you do actually know. That's what I'm trying to go with. Yeah, I think you actually do know. Haha. We're gonna present... something. Is it because it was like wet? Because it was water. Yes. There's water on it. There's no way you were the one who opened a guitar case. Why would you say that? It's elementary, my dear. Because the only fingerprints on this guitar... Oh, I forgot about the fingerprints part. Oopsies! Because the only fingerprints on this guitar case are those of the victim. Ah! What is it, Miss Andrews? You shouldn't assume that I must have just... you shouldn't assume that I must have left print just because I touched the case. What do you mean? What if I were to tell you that I was wearing gloves at the time? Gloves? But why were you wearing gloves at the time? It was the end of an awards ceremony, so of course I dressed up for the occasion. Yes, now I remember. I'm almost sure I was wearing a pair of thin gloves. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, it seems the witness was wearing gloves at the scene of the crime. That's a little strange. You were wearing gloves? Isn't that a little strange? Why is that strange? Do you have something that would prove I was not wearing gloves at the time? The glass, because you had fingerprints on it. Take that! I have your proof right there. This wine glass. Fuck! The wine glass? You left your fingerprints very clearly on this wine glass. Ah! Even if you took your gloves off when you poured yourself this glass of juice, wouldn't you think it was just a little strange? That you put your gloves back on just to open the guitar case? Ah! Oh, she even took off her glasses to do that reaction. Order! 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 Looks like you hit the nail on the head this time. What do you mean? I believe that guitar case plays a very important role here. But it's just an empty guitar case. I wonder if it really was empty though. But the guitar, the bright red guitar was at the studio. Phoenix, drop all of your presumptions. What was in the guitar case? What was in the guitar case was not the bright red guitar. You don't mean it was a bright white guitar. Wait, that's not right either. I admit it would be rather unnatural for someone to do that. So the witness was not wearing gloves, despite the fact that on the case... Your Honor, this is obviously the defense's usual misdirection tactic at work. Steer the court towards an unrelated topic, and lull us all into his misguided... No! I'm not misguided. No, Your Honor! Please recall that Miss Andrews had testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case, which means that the case was closed when the crime took place. However, it is wide open in this photo of the crime scene. I'm sure this guitar case has some relation to the murder. If you're so sure, right, then I'm sure you can somehow substantiate your outrageous claim, correct? Please enlighten us as to whether the guitar case has anything to do, anything at all to do with this murder. That's a great question. Very good question. That's why I'm going to save the game. Thank you, Edgeworth. Okay. Can you do that, Mr. Wright? Well, let's suppose for a second that the bright red guitar was not the only thing that could have been in this case. The bright red guitar was not being... the bright red guitar not being the only thing. You don't mean that there's a black guitar. No. Judge, stop thinking like Phoenix. So you attempt to push your theory that the case was not empty. Is that right? Right? I mean, is that it right? Did I click too fast? Because I think I could have read that dialogue more properly. Whatever. I wouldn't say something I didn't intend to prove. Because I know Judge was in the middle saying black guitar. Don't tell me there was a bright black guitar. Bright black... Did he say bright black guitar? Deflate that head of yours. You haven't proven anything yet. Now then, let's have it. What was inside his case at the time of the murder? The photo! No. It's not gonna be the ticket, it's not gonna be this thing, it's not gonna be the camera, it's not gonna be magazine article, it's only gonna be one thing. Not the wine either. It'll not be the button. It'll only be the suicide report. So, you know, not a suicide report, it'll just be the note in general. No, that's literally the only thing it could be. Yeah. Take that! Because, and why would something like that be inside a guitar case? Let alone in this one? Why, Mr. Wright, why? Well, I just thought it might have been possible. I just thought it might have been possible. I was suggesting, why don't you put that in the void where your brain's supposed to be? Yes, and never bring it out again. Oh. Can a foolishly foolish fool get some love? He's really missing Von Karma. Do you still think you can prove your theory? Can you prove the guitar case was not empty at the time of the murder? I want to say something I didn't intend to prove. Okay. My badge. What else would be? No. A press conference ticket? No. Or would it? It won't be the killer. It won't be the camera. What would actually be inside a guitar? A button? I cannot see what else could have been. You don't mean, you don't suppose that a black guitar? No. Actually, let's just enjoy that dialogue. I kept skipping too fast, so I couldn't let you guys properly enjoy that. But seriously though, what was in this though? The killer. I know, that's what I was thinking too. I was gonna go with the button, but I think I tried the button right now. So... can you do that? Well, let's suppose for a second. The burner guitar not being the only thing? You don't mean to suggest that a bright black guitar was inside the... Okay, the judge has the same line of thinking as I do. It won't be my badge, it won't be the Magatama, it won't be the photo. What would actually be inside a guitar case? It would only have to be a button, right? Why, Mr. Red, why? I'm so confused. I'm trying to think. What could it be? I don't think I went through a walkthrough, right? So, no, I've not used a walkthrough this entire time. I don't think I have. So, you know, I have not used a walkthrough yet, so I want to think really hard about this. Nickel Samurai photo. No, we already know Oldback has this, so we know it's not that. Could it be a magazine clipping? Why would there be magazine clipping? I'm so confused. I already went with the suicide. Maybe I didn't present the suicide thing correctly. Was he stuffing a person inside? Oh, okay. I know there's people to present, but it cannot be a person. Let me just save this so that way it's like easier to come back to this. So let me save that. Okay, let me think about this. So it's not my badge, unfortunately. Okay, I mean, no, that's a good thing. It's not my badge. Glossy photo. That's what I thought too. This. Oh. The music stopped. I'm like, wait a minute. This isn't. This is a photograph. Yes, but what is important is what is on the. Oh, it really was the picture. Oh. Yes, but what is important is what is in that picture. I was like thinking like, the only thing that will realistically be in a guitar case is the picture, but why would the picture be in it? Like, that's the only thing that will realistically be in a guitar case, a picture, right? A little photo. Like, nothing else would be in it. But like, I was thinking, why would he have the photo? There's no reason. It's the Nickel Samurai, but... No, I don't see anything in this photo that's special. Unless it's an autograph. Yes, but what is important is what is in that picture, Your Honor. In this picture, it doesn't take a genius to see what I mean. What I'm proposing is, inside the guitar case was a Nickel Samurai, the hero's very own costume. What? 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 Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Oh! We were. Oh! I get this now. This makes so much more sense. Okay. So I was thinking, like, why would he have that photo? No, it's not a photo he has. It's the Nickel Samurai. It was just I'm just presenting an actual Nickel Samurai. It was the Nickel Samurai costume he had in the guitar case. Oh, because remember the press conference, right? We were so confused about the press conference. What's going on in the press conference? What's going on in the press conference? That's because Juan Cordo is going to pretend to be Nickel Samurai to make his opponent look bad. Oh my goodness! So the photo we see here is not. It's not Adrian Andrews that's in his costume. It's Juan Corrida. Or maybe it is Adrian Andrews after she left the room. But whatever it is, it's the costume. That was the plan. The plan was for Adrian Andrews to exit out with the Steel Samurai, the Nickel Samurai costume, and make him look bad in a press conference or something. I don't know, but that's insane. Right. Are you saying that he witnessed open a guitar case to take out a costume? What insane point would there be? I like Edward's reaction. I love Edward's reaction to all this. He's like, what the fuck? How did this happen? I thought it could not be more ridiculous. It could not. I knew this is. I know we're in a video game and all, but it cannot be. How? And why did music stop when he presented that? There's no way. There's no way. What insane point would there be to something like that? That insane point would be to wear the costume, of course. Miss Andrews put it on to hide her identity so she could make her escape. After all, you couldn't let anyone see you leave, could you, Miss Andrews? I refuse to accept your theory. Do you have anything to support such a preposterous idea? Just outside the door was an investigative photographer who was starting for a big scoop. And in the end, she managed to get this shot, correct? You mean this photo? Order! It looks like we've wandered into quite another mess again, haven't we? Nice job, Phoenix. Well, you know my strategy. Speak first, think later. So the real murder was hiding inside a What? I'm so confused. Well, I'm still thinking. So no, let's hear this. So the real murderer was hiding inside a costume? Wait 1 second, Your Honor. Oh, never mind. I thought I got it, but no, I was wrong. Hold up. The Nickel Samurai's costume would have been Mr. Matt on guards. Why would so many of the defendants be in the victim's room? And inside a guitar case of all places? True, that is a little baffling. Mr. Ray, the court would like to hear your thoughts. What is this Nickel Samurai costume doing inside the guitar case? Spare costume? No, stolen from On Guard, right? No, On Guard was wearing his own costume, so it's a spare costume. Mr. On Guard did not take his costume out during the break period. In that case, the costume we were talking about was a spare one. What? Then, are you saying that on the night of the murder, there were 2 Nickel Samurai costumes at the Gatewater Hotel? Yes, that is what I'm saying. And how do you explain the costume that was inside the guitar case? It would mean that the victim himself had brought a spare... Okay, never mind, I was correct. Okay, I thought they said... So you told me the murderer was hiding in the guitar case? I was like... Adrian Andrews was hiding in the guitar case, so she went to his room. So she went to, Juan's room. She went inside the guitar case, and she waited for Juan to open up the guitar case and kill it. And I'm like, huh? But if the vase went down, the vase would go inside, right? The vase shards would be inside if she opened the case. So I was like confused, and I was like, oh, never mind. I was still correct. I was correct the first time. He brought an extra costume. It would mean that the victim himself had brought a spare to the ceremony on purpose. But why? The victim, Mr. Corda, was the Jamie Ninja. Already secretly bringing the Nickel Samurai spare costume with him. What could be the reason behind this particular act? And therein lies the sticking point. What are you mumbling to yourself about now? Have you just been rambling all this time without any sense of inner monologue? Huh? No, I'm just... Mr. Wright, please explain yourself. Why do you think the victim had a Nickel Samurai spare costume? Phoenix, are you sure you can explain this one? Think carefully before you answer. And then answer with gusto. I believe in you. Alright, this is what I think. The reason the victim brought the Nickel Samurai spare costume to the hotel was... Take that! What is this? On the night of the murder, after the stage show, the Nickel Samurai was going to hold a special press conference. Let me just save the game, not because I'm afraid of what's next, but actually I am afraid of what's next, but I just want to reset this part, you know. We made it so far. Okay, now let's go back. Okay. A press conference? Yes, the Nickel Samurai was supposed to confess something at this conference. I heard about this as well. For once, you're not making something up, right? But what struck me as strange was that Mr. On Guard himself said he had no idea he was supposed to be holding a press conference that night. But how can that be? The way I see it, that can mean only one thing. The conference was set up by none other than the victim, Mr. Juan Corrida himself. The victim? Yes. But it's Corrida or Corrida? I forgot now. I learned the pronunciation of that word, but I've just been saying Corrida for a while. Yes. The spare nickel samurai costume was prepared for that very conference. Mr. Hold a second. Hold it there for a minute, Phoenix. Mr. what? I've been mispronouncing his name for like a day now. Well, like an episode now. What's the pronunciation of this? Load, internet.
Corrida.
Oh, Corrida. Okay, it's with a big E. Mr. Corrida was going to hold a press conference as the Nickel Samurai. I love English spelling. Isn't it so obvious what each word is supposed to be pronounced when you read it? He was going to dress up as a Nickel Samurai and hold a conference? But why would a victim do such a thing? That's something I don't quite know yet. However, what I am concerned with right now is what he intended to reveal at that conference. The Nickel Samurai was going to confess something? And by confess, I'd wager he was going to reveal something about himself. Which means that Juan Corrida, posing as a Nickel Samurai, was going to speak about Matt On Guard. Yes, I guess that is what you would mean. But if that's the case, that's not a confession. That's public discourse. Miss Andrews, I can see why you're pros at what you do. Pardon me? Yes, just as you say, the press conference was set up by Juan. Miss Andrews, please offer some explanation for this. I was the one he asked to help set it up. And the person who prepared the second costume for him? That was also me. You? Juan had bet everything on the Jammin' Ninja this year, and if he had lost the Grand Prix, he was going to make sure Matt was going down with him. That's what he thought anyway. He was going to ruin him? Huh? It looked like somehow Juan had in his hands a secret so powerful that it would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed. What? Do you know what this secret of Mr. On Guards is, Mr. Andrews? I mean, Miss Andrews? That's something only Juan knew. I don't know what it is. Oh, I see. I've probably been coming up and quite suspicious to everyone. But that's to be expected. I've been trying to protect Matt, after all. Protect Mr. On Guard? And yet again, another strange bit of truth comes to light, it seems. Miss Andrews, if you could, please tell us the truth about your behavior. Yes, Your Honor, I understand. Final testimony? Let's check this out. Oh, yeah, I think this is final testimony. From the moment I saw the crime scene, I had a feeling that Matt was the murderer. Matt had to kill Juan no matter what, and he didn't have an alibi for what he was doing at the time of the murder. My thoughts were confirmed by the evidence, of course, the button and the knife. But I'm Matt's manager, so I felt that I had to protect him. This does account for everything. Well, I am the logical type. We're finally seeing her true self. She's more nervous than a scared rabbit. If the defense can find no fault with his testimony, I am ready to make a ruling. Please keep that in mind as you cross-examine, Mr. Wright. Looks like somehow everything has swung to the opposite end of the scale again. That just means I have to put my weight into this and turn our logic upside down. Oh boy. Protecting Matt. Time to do this. Before anything else. Saving time! Yay! No, but seriously though, let's go do this. We got this, guys. Hold it! Would you say that was your intuition speaking to you? Don't confuse my methods of reasoning with your own. Erg. If you want to prove that someone did something, you need 3 things. 3 things? A motive, an opportunity to commit a crime, and finally, decisive evidence. If you think these 3 things through, the answer becomes quite clear. You should have already known that, Phoenix. They didn't teach us that in school, at least not from what I remember. May I continue now? Well, what did she say? I forgot. I was thinking about something else while I was doing that. Oopsies! 3 things? A motive and opportunity to commit the crime and finally decisive evidence. Okay, that's okay. Oops, Phoenix, you probably should have learned that. Okay, hold it. So would you say this need came from a press conference? Yes. Do you know why Juan chose that event and that hotel for the conference? Because that was when he could cause the most damage to the public's beloved Matt on guard. And you knew of this plan, didn't you, Miss Andrews? Yes, because I was the one who set up the conference and prepared a costume. But I'm sure Mr. On Guard himself didn't know anything about a press conference. Oh, really? Can you show me any proof that he didn't know about a press conference? Anyway, the important thing here is that this information is not in your testimony. Yes, I agree. Miss Andrews, please correct your testimony if you please. Grasping at straws now, are we, Mr. Wright? But I don't have any way to prove I'm right. Has Mr. On Guard done something to hurt or betray you personally? Why do you ask? You're the one who helped Mr. Korda with his press conference, and that event was supposed to bring down Mr. On Guard, yet you still helped him out. The person on trial right now is Mr. On Guard, right? What the witness was thinking, helping the victim with his plan, is none of our concern. In any case, this means that the defendant had a motive to kill. Why do I keep doing this to myself? Hold it! But didn't you already testify earlier that Mr. On Guard was taking a nap in his room? Are you telling me now that too was a lie so you could cover from Mr. On Guard? I'm not telling you anything of the sort. When I went to get him for the show, he honestly was sleeping. However, as to whether he was sleeping the entire time, that I cannot say. I was too busy setting up the stage at the time. I keep trying, but I can find no flaws with what Miss Andrews has said. I can't say the same for some people here in this courtroom, however. The judge is glaring straight at Mia. He's glaring at you, smart guy. Oh. Okay, hold it! You can hardly call the knife decisive evidence. I thought he was glaring at Mia because he still found it kind of odd, you know, an 8-year-old turned into like a person in their mid-20s, but okay. You can hardly call the knife decisive evidence. The fingerprints on the knife could very well be a clever camouflage. Then, what about a button? The button? It's clear from the crime scene that the victim and his murderer fought, and during that fight, the killer ripped a button from the Jamie Ninja's costume. You're talking about this button, correct? That button was found in the pleats of Matt's hakama. Is that correct? I would think that makes it very decisive evidence. Looks like you were out fox again, Mr. Wright. Anyway, the knife doesn't prove a thing. Please fix your testimony. I can't stand the sight of a man who can gracefully accept his defeat. Thank goodness Mia can still look at me. With an icy stare, yes. Miss Andrews, for Mr. Wright's sake, please add this information to your testimony. The button was torn right off. Okay. Was torn right off of Juan during his fight with... Okay. Hold it! And how do you know that? When the ends of the threads on the button and the costume were matched up, they were found to fit together perfectly. Or so I heard. I've heard that before too. But why would Miss Andrews know about his case down to such a fine detail? Don't look at me like that, just because I'm prepared and you're not. And I thought I heard her this time for sure. If there's anything to trip her up on, it has to be here, but where and what? Hold it! But what he really did was stab the guy in the back, didn't you? And at the worst possible time. Who's to say she really stabbed the guy in the back, as you put it? This witness could have disclosed things about Mr. On Guard at any time. Why then would she wait until there was a large audience before doing so? It's the same reason why Mr. Korda planned such an elaborate conference. Miss Andrews wanted to cause Mr. On Guard as much damage as she possibly could. The witness bears ill will towards the defendant. This isn't the Phoenix Wright wax philosophical fill power hour. And please, stop slandering the witness. As I expected, Miss Andrews' testimony seems pretty solid. I mean, what? Wait, I mean, okay, wait. Did she say something? Oh, never mind. As it sounds, okay. I guess Phoenix was saying, really? Because to me it sounded a little wishy-washy. Wishy-washy? Well, I guess we'll see if I press a little more. You should know this by now, but you'll need strong, decisive evidence to make your talk. Got it, Chief. I'm gonna pin you down this time, Miss Andrews, and there won't be any pin-ups this time, like Oldbag was saying. I know what his motive was, but I don't have any way to prove I'm right. I can't really argue with that. Um, I guess I should save before I think about anything. And even Phoenix Wright commented, if it's going to be an issue, it's going to be with this part of the testimony. So... What's wrong with that, though? I don't see the issue. Maybe there's like a photo? Not that photo. I'm talking about the crime scene photo. I'm trying to see the missing button. What's the missing button? That button was torn right off Pawn during his fight with Matt. What was his oh yeah. You don't have any way to prove you're right. Why did I don't know. I did that because hey, if he has a ticket then that proves that he knows about the press conference. No. Okay, let's see. I don't know. I was gonna say, why would the button be teared off? Because it's like strangling him from the back. So yeah, it'll be a little weird. This is the victim's autopsy report. It clearly states that the cause of death was strangulation by a scarf. Strangulation? The knife stab to the victims was done after the victim had already died. And what does that mean? Let's examine the evidence. This button has the victim's blood on it. Oh, I didn't notice that. Oopsies. Which would mean that if it was ripped off the costume. When? After the knife was stabbed into the victim. Exactly. Which means that it's impossible that the button was torn off during the victim's final struggle. Because the victim was strangled to death in that fight. Ah. That's right, Miss Andrews. There's no way this button was ripped off during the struggle. This button was consciously pulled off the victim's already dead body. Order! Order! Well, what is the meaning of... What is the meaning of this, right? So what if the button was torn off the body after the victim already died? What does that change? Let me ask you one simple question, Mr. Edgeworth. Why was the button torn off? What purpose did that serve? What purpose? We now know this button was not torn off during the fight, so the murderer took the time and effort to purposely rip this off from the victim's body. That would mean that the murderer had something in mind, wouldn't it? Mr. Wright, does this mean you know what the murderer wanted to do with the button? What was it? To pin the criminal on guard. There's only one logical reason for doing something like that. It is to pin the crime on Mr. On Guard. There's no way anyone would put a bloody button in their own pants. That's right, Mr. On Guard was set up. But a real killer, of course. The real murderer is... Well, Mr. Wright, who in the world is the real killer then? Finally. Time to save the game again. Ha ha ha. Anyways, time to say, okay, finally, I can't believe I managed to bring this trail all the way up to this point. Phoenix, we can't let your guard down yet, not until the very end. The real killer, the person who planned to frame Mr. On Guard, is his manager. Just as no one else could have done it. Himself, of course! Wendy Oldbag, no. Take that! I mean, that's what we've been going for a while. Miss Adrian Andrews. I choose you! You are Mr. Corda's killer! What? I gave her Von Karma's voice for a second. Order! 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 Mr. Wright! This is a very grave matter. Do you have any evidence that supports your charge? Any evidence? All the evidence points toward Mr. Andrews. Miss Andrews. How preposterous. You can't stick any of that on me. I can't, can I? Would you care to test me? I need to turn out the lights in my room. Then what about this knife? What about this knife? I'm back, okay. The knife was used to stab the victim after he had already been strangled to death. It was used to throw suspicion onto Mr. On Guard, naturally. A knife covered in the defendant's fingerprints could only be taken from his room. And only one who had dinner with him and knew which knife to take was you! Disc! New glasses. Then, what about the button that was found in Matt's Hakama? This button was removed from the victim's body after he had already died. The only people who could have done so were the person who found his body or the killer. However, if Mr. On Guard was the real killer, there's no way he would have put such incriminating evidence in his own Hakama. Ah! How many glasses do you have? The only person who could have put this button into Mr. On Guard's Hakama is the person who wanted to wake him up from his nap, which is you yet again, Miss Andrews. Unless she has such a strong, she gets paid so well. She gets paid more than Phoenix Wright, or especially Gumshoe, that she's able to get this pair of glasses that magically regenerates after it breaks. Oh, I see! What about the empty guitar case? That is also another piece of evidence that incriminates Miss Andrews. That costume was used to hide the real killer's identity as they fled the crime scene. Why are you showing behind like that? Anyways, now, who could have known that there was only there were just such a costume inside a guitar case? It could only have been the person who prepared the costume for the victim. And that person is you, Miss Adrian Andrews. No, But Miss Andrews' fingerprints were nowhere to be found in the guitar case. And it was you who proved that she was not wearing gloves at the time. That's right. That's because she did not intend on leaving any prints. If anyone had found out that she had touched the case, they would have asked her why. So to avoid leaving any prints, she used a towel or something else to open it. But the glass of tomato juice is a different story. Miss Andrews purposely left her fingerprints on the glass to show that yes, indeed, she was the classic dazed discoverer of a dead body. Ah! And to top it all off, there is this photo. A photo of the killer as they exited the scene of the crime. No reasonable person on Earth can believe this Nicholas Samuel is Mr. On Guard. He would be much too short for his own costume if it were him. Speaking of how tall people are, Miss Andrews, you're also kind of short in stature, are you not? Please, stop! Well, how about it, Miss Andrews? I've got her this time. Or did I? Miss Andrews? I refuse to testify. What was that? There's a law. It says I can't be forced to testify about something if it can incriminate me. Well, yes. You are absolutely correct, Miss Andrews. The law does provide us with a way to avoid self-incrimination. By allowing a witness to not testify, the testimony can cause damage to themselves. What?! Pleading the fifth is not something most people would think to do on the spot. Actually, thinking back to yesterday in Mr. On Guard's room, the suicide notes? Oh, never mind. Adrian Andrews! Oh. Yes? Think hard about what we just discussed. Understood? Alright. That's it. That's when Franziska planted this idea into her head. She must have told Miss Andrews to not testify if things looked bad. You did a good job proving everything up to this point, Phoenix. But there's still one thing you haven't done. Something I haven't done? The motive, that's easy enough. What's wrong, Mr. Wright? Are you finished already? Run out of evidence? No. What is so humorous, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm sure you realize this as well, Your Honor. But everything the good lawyer here has proven up to this point is meaningless. Well, what? Everything you have proven is circumstantial. Oh, circumstantial? Yes, circumstantial. You have to provide a single piece of definitive proof. The costume? I thought that was enough, but okay. Prove that Miss Andrews did in fact harbor a wish. Oh, the motive. Harbor a wish to murder Mr. Corrida. That's easy enough. Miss Andrews, did you want to kill Mr. Corrida? I believe this may lead to me incriminating myself, so I will abstain from answering. But Miss Andrews, if you do that, it would be the same as admitting your guilt, don't you think? Maybe so, or maybe not. There's nothing to prove it either way. Besides, you don't even know what crime I would be guilty of due to my silence. No, she's taking that defiant attitude again. Mimiya, what should we do? Somehow, we've landed in the worst possible situation, have we? I think we have reached a certain conclusion at this point in time. Miss Adrian Andrews has refused to testify, and the defense's theory that she is the actual murderer has not been fully substantial with solid definitive proof, as if Edward's theory about his definitive proof either, about Enguarde being the killer. But that's not true. In this situation, there's only one thing this court can do, and that is to declare a recess. Recess? I request that both the prosecution and the defense look further into this matter, and at tomorrow's trial. Tomorrow? Oh no. We don't have a tomorrow. If you don't get a non-guilty verdict today, then... Hold it! Please wait, Your Honor, that's not necessary. The trial? Please continue the trial. What are we sweating for? Your client is getting one more day to live, isn't he? Dad, that's not it. This isn't about Dad. Edgeworth, I know you know who the real killer is. Please, let the trial continue. If I don't get the verdict, then Maya... Oh, now Edgeworth has his things. He's like, wait a minute, I didn't see Maya all day. Okay, now Edgeworth finally realized. It was impossible to continue as the witness refused to testify. Now then, this court is... Yes, Edgeworth, I love you. It is not impossible for this trial to continue. Mr. Edgeworth, well, what are you... It's true, Miss Andrews holds the right against self-incrimination. However, if the topic of conversation were something unrelated to whatever she may be guilty of, then she has no right to withhold testimony. Yes, that is very true, but... Actually, there's one little thing that I'm curious about. Miss Andrews. When you found the victim's dead body, you poured yourself a glass of juice. Yes, and... I can't help but think how unnatural that is. Usually, when one finds a body, you're shaken up, not stealing a glass of juice. Some actions were unusual, but I've already... Before you speak, I want to state that if you have a reason behind your actions, I would like you to testify to that effect. Testify? Your Honor, I would like to request that the witness testify again as to what happened when she first discovered the victim's body. Whatever we find out in this testimony should in no way implicate the witness. I don't know what it is about Edward today, but I can't get a good read off of him. He's being a hero. Is he a friend or a foe? I just don't know. The court acknowledges the prosecution's request. Miss Andrews, if you please. Okay. Let's check this out. This is what happened with D. Vasquez, too. One more testimony. The glass of juice, I didn't really pour it for myself. I was surprised when I walked into the room and saw it in that messy state. And Juan, he was sitting slumped over and tired looking in the corner. When I saw him sitting like that, the thought that he was dead didn't cross my mind. To be honest, I thought he had just fainted or something, so I went to pour him some juice. When I realized that he was dead, that's when I knocked the flower vase over. So you poured that glass of juice for the victim. Why didn't you say so in your earlier testimony? I didn't think I needed to include something so trivial. Phoenix, please be careful here. If you can't find anything wrong with this testimony, then there's nothing left. I know. Edgeworth, what the heck is going on in that brain of yours? The same thing happened in other cases. Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Okay, when I found the body. Hold it! But there wasn't anyone else in the room, right? Of course not. Then, who did you pour it for? Mr. Wright, there's a rhyme and reason for everything. Can't you wait just a little longer for it to be revealed to you? In other words, Wright, be quiet and listen. Precisely. I couldn't have said it better myself. Hold it! So, it was a mess? Are you sure it wasn't messy because of your fight with Mr. Corrida? I understand your frustrations at not being able to prove your theory. However, before you go accusing people of crimes, go find yourself some evidence. Grr. And then, what did you see next, witness? Hold it! slumped over. Yes, he was just sitting there with his head tilted forward, eyes closed. He really looked like he was sleeping. Is it just me, or did that right there sound a little odd? Hold it! Then what did cross your mind? I thought maybe he had smashed everything up in anger because he lost the Grand Prix, and then felt tired after his rampage, so he decided to take a nap. Anyways, that's what I thought. I see. So you didn't think he was dead at all? Hold it! You thought he fainted. Oh, the photo, because the knife. I thought he was asleep at first, but then the room was in such a messy state. I thought maybe he had gotten into a fight with someone, and that's when you went to pour a glass of juice? Now it dawned on me, the knife in the photo. Yes, he always had a hard time waking up, so of course you know about that, as you're his lover. So Juan always has a glass of tomato juice to drink. I see. And after that, what happened next? Let me just press the last thing and I'm gonna point it out. Hold it! And how did you come to realize that he was, in fact, dead? I shook him over and over, but I never got a response. So I set the glass down on the dresser and I tried to take his pulse. I was shocked and staggered backward. And knocked the flower vase over, so that's what happened. Yes. This is what it all comes down to, huh? This is the absolute end for both sides, and Adrian's letting her guard down. Phoenix, now's our best chance yet to kill the prosecution's case. Isn't that a bit harsh, Mr. Andrews? You'll tell us the truth this time? Okay, we got this. Let me just save the game first. I know what I'm doing. I think it's a photo, because why would she think he was living if, you know... Oh, no. Why would she think he was living if, you know, if you look at a crime scene? Let's do this. So, you honestly didn't think he was dead when you found him? No, not at all. Even though this is what you saw when you discovered the body. Ah! What is the meaning of this? Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? There's a knife sticking straight out of Mr. Corda's chest. Anyone who saw this scene would have immediately thought that here was a dead man. That's, well, you see... I doubt a single person in the world would mistake this for someone who fainted, and then so nonchalantly go pour something to drink. Your point is, Miss Andrews, your testimony just now, it is all one giant lie. Ah! And your lie has proven one thing very clearly, that you are the real killer. No! Let's go. I didn't have to use the motive. Yeah, the court music is here. It looks like the defense has somehow brought the ugly truth to light. The defendant, Mr. Matt on guard, is not guilty after all. But that's impossible. You're wrong. Miss Andrews, try to have some composure. It wasn't me. It wasn't me, I tell you. It was Matt, I swear it. He's the one who killed Juan. But you're the one who refused to testify. And your reason for not doing so was that you might end up incriminating yourself. But that's because... Miss Andrews, I will give you one last chance. What exactly are you hiding that may incriminate you? Oh my goodness. I refuse to testify. This breakdown is not as satisfying, because she still does not admit to losing. There is no need for this court to continue any further. Mr. Matt on guard's innocence has been clearly demonstrated. Why should someone object to this? Probably her. Is it over? Have we found the truth at last? What's wrong, Phoenix? Usually, the real killer confesses his or her guilt. And now that I think about it, this is the first time someone hasn't. Oh goodness, oh boy. I guess it really is the killer. The quote-unquote, the name the killer. No, with a D-E, not T-H-E. Now then, I would like to hand down my verdict for Mr. Matt on guard. It was Adrian instead. Your Honor, the prosecution feels that it would be premature to pass down a verdict at this time. What? The reason is quite simple. This witness has yet to speak the absolute real truth. Oh, goodness. The absolute real truth? What are you? Witness, don't you understand yet? Huh? I don't know who planted the silly idea in your head. Oh, Von Karma, but Oh my goodness. No. Wow, Karma, did you ruin this? But as long as you protect yourself through your silence, Matt on guard will go free. And in his place, you will become the guilty party. That's a lie. Oh, is she being blackmailed by the killer or something? What? I I was told if I spoke, then it would be all over, and Matt would never be declared guilty. What? Wait, if I spoke, then it would be all over, and Matt would never be declared guilty. If I spoke. Oh, so does she have one of these? That's twisted. There's no way the killer's also controlling her too. Like, that's so twisted. Like, he's trying to make her. Wait, I'm thinking. Maybe the killer is trying to, like, no. If the killer had something on her, then he would have. Then we wouldn't have to go through so much effort. So, hold up. The killer wants Matt Engar to go free, right? Or is he just playing games? I'm so confused. Hold up. What? It's a cool villain though. I like how big of a villain he is. If I spoke, then it would be all over, and Matt would never be declared guilty. What in the world is she talking about? Has she lost it? I, I can't speak about it. I'm too scared. It's Francisca von Karma. Oh. Huh? Don't you remember, Phoenix? Miss Andrews lives by gripping tightly onto the words of another. Because she doesn't have the strength to believe in herself, then right now, Miss Andrews is... Yesterday, she was tossed a lifesaver by Miss von Karma. Don't say a word, no matter what happens. If you do, Matt on guard will be acquitted. Miss Andrews undyingly believes in those words right now, and is clinging on to them. Then what should we do? This is the first time I've ever come across anything like this. Well, Miss Andrews has to be the killer, right? All we have to do now is get her not guilty. That's my only priority. It wasn't me, I'm begging you, please believe me, I didn't kill Juan. Oh my goodness, oh no, no way. Oh, wait. Hold on, let me think. Let me think about this. So right now, she's been making herself look so bad because she refuses to speak the truth. Okay. So she isn't actually... Oh, help, please, someone, help me. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? The court can't continue on like this. Therefore, I'd like to hear what you intend to do. What I intend to do? What am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to say? Right. I suggest you think very carefully about this. Think of what this witness did and what she did not do. And I think about who is the real mastermind behind this crime. Who is the real mastermind? Isn't that obvious? There's no one else it could be except the woman crying over there, right? Come now. What will you do? What kind of man are you, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Fine. Fine! I have to win a complete acquittal today. There's no way around that. But I can't bring myself to do it like this. Not when she's making a face like this. Miss Andrews, I would like to know what you really are hiding. Mr. Wright, are you sure you know what you're doing? I mean, I'm a spider off of Edgewood, right? Edgewood would do this thing to get the truth. Edgewood would do, like, especially after Turnabout Goodbye, well, even in Turnabout Samurai, right? Even when he was winning, he would go press hard to find the truth, okay? And that's what I have to do too, okay? I'm inspired off of Edgewood. This is what it means to be a lawyer, to find the truth, to expose the truth in court. Mr. Wright, are you sure you know what you're doing? Sure, Mr. On Guard would get an acquittal, but in this place, you'll be found guilty. Is this how you really want this trial to end? Be quiet, how dare you? You're trying to trick me. That's enough. I commend you for trying, Mr. Edgeworth. However, it's clear that the defense theory is the truth. You're wrong. You really taught me so much, Edgeworth. What a shame. I had hoped things wouldn't come to this. However... What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? Miss Andrews, so you absolutely refuse to testify. It falls on my shoulders to disclose this to the court. Stop! Oh, the suicide? Well, Mr. Edgeworth! This witness, how should I put this? She has an illness. What?! Oh, this is so epic. And because of this illness, she's tried to commit suicide in the past. Stop! Please stop! No matter how much you want to hide it, it's no use! I have the evidence right here! Ah! That's the second part of the suicide report! The attempted suicide report! What will you do now, witness? You know what I am about to do, don't you? I will now reveal to the court the true nature of the pitiful woman known as Adrian Andrews. The secret of their dependent nature. Having other people know about it scares her more than anything else in the world. Please, please stop. I beg of you. If people find out, I'll... If you're going to say you would choose that is of no concern to me. Oh, damn! Edgeworth, how can you be so cold? However, before you die, I'll pull the truth from your still breathing lips. No matter what I have to do. Like, I know Edgeworth seems like so mean right now, but trust me, he's trying to do this. He's doing this for a good reason. So, will you tell the court yourself, or shall I? Either is fine with me. I'll talk, but please, help me. Oh, damn. Nothing matters anymore. My crime. We've been on so many final testimonies so much. Yeah, we've been on so many final testimonies, it's kind of crazy. When I first saw him, I really thought he had fainted, honest. When I realized he was dead, that was when I formulated my plan. Once I made sure there was no one in the hallway, I made a dash back to Matt's room, and then I stabbed Juan's dead body with a knife and ripped off the button. Just when I finished, I was returning to Matt's room. I had a bit of an inconvenience, and that's why I ended up using the nickel samurai costume. But why? Stab the body with a knife? But why do you do that? Isn't it obvious? To pin the blame on a certain person. A certain cowardly man. Oh. What do you mean by all of this? It might take a court a little while to understand, but this is the truth. The real killer is Matt, the scumbag of a man. I'll never forgive him. He's trying to escape his guilt again, just like last time. Last time? So I thought she was like really upset at Juan the entire time. So wait a minute. So Miss Andrews stabbed the victim, Juan Corrida, in the chest with his knife. Okay, so let me think about this. This entire time we thought she was really pissed at Juan, but no, she's really pissed at Matt instead, and she's been playing with Juan. She's been playing with Juan this entire time. She wasn't playing Juan. She's been playing with Juan. Well, she might be playing with him in the sense that she gave him blackmail. But hold up. So is she blaming? Is she blaming the death of Celeste on Matt Engarde? Hold up. So, Miss Andrews stabbed the victim, Juan Corrida, in the chest with a knife. However, she didn't do it with a murder in mind. She did it with the intent of framing Matt Engarde for the murder. And this is her crime. What? How is this possible? I mean, wasn't Miss Andrews supposed to be the real murderer? Mr. Wright, please get over your shock and commence the cross-examination. Oh my goodness. Wait one second, I'll be back. Okay, we're back. My crime. My comp. Okay. When I first saw him, I really thought he had fainted. Honest. Hold it! But you could tell from the state the room was in that there must have been a fight. Are you telling the truth when you say that you did not know he was dead? He had a scarf tied around his neck. But that scarf is a part of the Jamie Ninja's costume, so I didn't think anything about it was strange. His head was also tilted down a bit, so I couldn't see his face that well. That's why I thought I'd wake him up and went to pour the juice. What is this plan you had? I knew right away the murderer was Matt. I knew because Juan, he was going to expose Matt's weak point to the world. So Matt did this to stop Juan and silence him for good. That's what I thought. I should forge some evidence and pin this crime on Matt. So the forged pieces of evidence were the knife and the button. The first thing that came to mind was to plant the knife. That was so you could get the knife, correct? Knife Matt used at dinner had his fingerprints all over it. I thought if I used that, then the police would certainly turn their eyes towards him. Matt was napping, with his costume on at the time. I slipped in, took the knife, and returned to the scene of the crime. And then... So you were the one who's to stab the victim with a knife. It gives off me goosebumps to think about it now. What a horrible thing I did. But at the time, I couldn't control my own body. It moves on its own. Then when I stabbed Juan's dead body, I suddenly realized something. If I used the button somehow, I could make Matt look even more suspect. So you thought to rip one of the buttons off and then plant it on Mr. Enguarde's Hakama. Yes, that's what I had planned to do. But things never go that smoothly, do they? An inconvenience? There was a woman with a camera at the ready, loitering in the hallway. I'm willing to bet my spikes it was Lada. So basically, her whole plan to make Matt look guilty hinged on her forgetting that autopsy reports exist. Anyways, I'm willing to bet my spikes it was Lada. There's also a woman with a ray gun at the ready pacing back and forth. That's Miss Oldback for you. I'd already been caught and made into a big scoop for a certain weekly tabloid once, so I couldn't very well go out looking like myself and get caught again. So you were the one who prepared that costume, weren't you? Yes, I took it from Global Studios. I also put it into Juan's guitar case the day before the award ceremony. You did this in preparation for the press conference, correct? Yes, Juan wanted to wear that costume and hold the press conference in it. He was going to disclose Matt's big secret there. And what is the secret? That, I don't know. Oh. Anyway, I thought that if I were to leave Juan's room in the Nickel Samurai's... I thought you were the one who gave the secret, and that's why you were personally so mad at Matt, because you were like, that cowardly person! No, I thought you personally hated Matt, but okay. Anyway, I thought if I were to leave Juan's room with the Nickel Samurai costume, then people would think that Matt was the real murderer. I was very careful not to leave any fingerprints when I opened a guitar case. I absolutely did not want anyone to know about the costume. I think we've heard enough. So, after that, you went back to Mr. Enguarde's room and planted the button? Into Matt's Hakama? Yes. After that, I folded up the costume I was wearing and put it into a bag. Then I snuck it out of the hotel and got rid of it. My word, what does this all mean? Mr. Edgeworth, is it? The real criminal is Matt Enguarde. Yesterday, that woman prosecutor sat me down for a talk. Franziska, huh? She said that I should, under no circumstances, confess to what I had done. That if I just keep quiet, then Matt would be found guilty for sure. I had no choice but to believe in her words. What this witness has done is clearly unlawful. However, as long as her testimony stands, we can be certain she is not a real killer. Wait, Your Honor! The defense still... Right. Oh shoot! Wait a minute. There's an achievement where you can get the quote-unquote bad ending. I'm very interested in that. Hold up, I want to try this. Right. I wonder if I saved too early. That'll be unfortunate. If I saved too early. No, if I saved early enough, that'll be good. Yeah, that'll be good if I saved early enough. And I didn't save after that. Because then I can try getting the bad ending where I get the request a not guilty verdict. It's pointless. At this point in time, it is not possible to indict Miss Andrews on anything. Yes, exactly. There isn't a single piece of evidence that points to her as the murderer. The cross-examination of this witness is over, and so is today's trial. You couldn't establish that the witness was the culprit. Please let it go, Mr. Wright. But... Mr. Edgeworth, please place Miss Andrews under arrest for further questioning. Understood, Your Honor. The prosecution will arrange for your detention immediately. That is all. Court is adjourned for today. Oh no. Is this the bad ending? Today's trial. It's over. And I didn't win an acquittal. Witness, would you mind if I asked you something? Edgeworth? What is it? Before you leave court today, I wonder if I might look at one thing. The card in your hand. It's had my interest for quite some time now. What exactly is it? Oh, this? Miss Wright also asked me about this. Although I didn't remember at the time you asked me about it, Mr. Wright, I remember just now. I found this in the room on that day. The room? That day? Yes. I found this card when I discovered Juan's body. It was lying there, right next to him. You found that card next to the victim's body? I suppose I must have unconsciously slipped it into my pocket. But it's not as if this card has any relevance to Juan's murderer, right? Yeah, I guess not. But it's still a strange card, if you ask me. But as far as a clue to this case, I don't see why. Maya? Oh, never mind. Witness! That card, give it to me! Hurry! Edward? Do you have any idea what you have stupidly yet inadvertently done? This. I can't believe you hid this from me all this time. I didn't mean to. What is this all about? Oh, I love you, Edward. I've never seen Edward so emotional before. That card, what in the world is it, and what does it mean? You're really gonna leave me off like that? I see how this is. Okay, but seriously though, I want to go check out the bad ending. I hope I didn't save the game. Hold up. So I'm gonna go save this. And yeah, I'm gonna go try loading that in, okay? I'll be back. Please tell me, please tell me. Yes, let's go! Okay, we did it. Okay, we did not save the game after that. I'm so happy we did not do that. So what I want to do is, I'm gonna go present the crime scene again. Okay, let's go through this quickly. Okay, I'm so glad. We can try the bad ending. Okay, I think there's a bad ending we can get. Because remember there's a Steam achievement for this, so I'm so glad. We can try out this ending. Okay, I love Steam achievements. Okay, I mean, I guess it kind of... Okay, it's fine. Okay. Let's check this out. Okay, ready? Okay, ready? I mean, give me a second, okay? We're getting there. And this is where Edward's like, no, this is very important. We have to find the truth to this. We have to find the whole truth, and I'm like... And then I'm like, ugh, no, we're not getting the whole truth. I'm very curious to see how this goes. I think this is the way you get the bad ending. Because this was like a very tense moment. And Edward's like, please do what's right, Phoenix. Okay, ready? And Edward's like, please. Do it. Okay, the real mastermind. Edward's trying to go with the real mastermind, and we're like, no. No matter what she says, Miss Andrews is the only person it could be. Not to mention, I don't have the choice. I have to win a complete acquittal today. Your Honor, the defense believes there's enough evidence to substantiate our claim. Therefore, we motion that this court passes the verdict of not guilty as soon as possible. I'm disappointed in you, right? What have you learned this past year? That's enough. I commend you for trying, Mr. Edward. However, it's clear that the defense's theory is the truth. You're wrong. What a shame. I'd hoped things wouldn't come to this. However... What is it, Mr. Edward? Miss Andrews, since you absolutely refuse to testify, it falls on my shoulders to disclose it to the court. Oh. 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 Oh, it's gonna... Oh, never mind. I thought I made a bad ending. Okay. Okay, I'll be back. 1 second. Okay. Actually, I'm such a dumbass. Hold up. If I'm gonna get a bad ending, the reason why this case is a bad ending specifically is because something is a huge risk here. So if I just spam this... Okay, if I keep spamming this, I can easily lose this case, which is how we can get a bad ending. Because the reason why this case is a bad ending particularly is because Maya's life is at stake. It's not just, oh, we lose a case, you're gonna go to another trial at a later date and probably get hanged later. No, Maya's life is at risk here. So that's why it's not just my client, it's also Maya's... Okay, ready? Let's check this out. Okay, that's enough. This court sees no reason to further prolong the trial, nor is there any need for more time to decide the case against the defendant. This case is extremely clear. I see no room for misinterpretation of the facts. This court finds the defendant, Matt, on guard. Okay. The accused will surrender to the court immediately, to be held pending trial at a higher court within a month from today's date. That is all. This court is adjourned. Will we see something special here? Okay, I guess not. I guess not. Okay. Then how do you get a bad ending in this game? In this case, because I remember Steam Achievements has something like that. Okay, I remember Steam Achievements has that, so maybe it's like in the last trial. Whatever it is, guys, that was pretty fun, though. Unfortunately, we couldn't get any, we couldn't try to get any negative ending, but we did go closer to the positive ending. I was a little worried there for a second, but no, we're fine. We're gonna go, we're gonna continue this investigation probably on the same day, like it's gonna be the same afternoon, and the trial will be held, I don't know, that night, so that way we could get the completed Goodwill before, like, Maya gets killed. So yeah, Maya's life is at risk here, and we're gonna save her. But other than that, I don't know what else to say other than thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.